So your listing's about to expire on December 31st, and you're wondering what you should do. This is your host, Ron Wysokarski, for the Black Hole of Real Estate. And if your listing is about to expire on the 31st, which is the most common day of expirations in the MLS all year long, it's literally the Super Bowl on January 1st for any agent who loves to cold call, because what they're going to do is start early in the morning and they're going to call every single expired listing and let it ring 2-3 times all the way until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. They probably have some software that's going to channel through what the do not call list is so they can make those calls. And maybe some are not going to use that list, but there is software which can identify the names and phone numbers and the property addresses of properties on the market. I mean, the technology's out there. We share our information in so many places that, between the AI stuff going on, but just there are systems already in there. I mean, I won't name the names right now, but you can actually just pay for a system that every time a listing expires, it sends you a notification. And so that every morning you get a ready list of numbers that you can call. You can manually dial or single line dial. Listen, in the past, people have probably done 3-4 lines dialing at the same time. I don't think too many people are doing that right now, but you can dial every number out there to see if they want to sell again, because you can't solicit when they're under a listing agreement with somebody else. But the minute they go off the market, then they're open season for at least a phone call about general information. And a good agent can probably, if they're well scripted, navigate the do not call, do not solicit by just asking questions and be perfectly legit on that if your number is not blocked or on a do not call list. Hope that made sense. So what does it mean to you if you're about to expire? Well, a couple of things. If you're expiring on December 31st, you are among hundreds, probably thousands of people in your local markets that are going to go off the market temporarily on January 1st. So you're going to see a big dip in listings between December 31st, January 1st, 2nd. You'll see it go down. Happens every year. What you're going to see is a bunch of people relist, and many times with the same agent that expires, they go back on the market. Same agent, maybe they just forgot the paperwork or didn't sign it or wanted to freshen up the listing. So they can do that. Others are going to interview 1, 2, 3, 4 agents, and they're going to pick the best agent for them, whether it's a lower fee or a different price or better pictures or better marketing or some promise that it's going to end up differently than the last one, which it didn't sell. And by the way, if your property did not sell by December 31st, I can guarantee it's one of 3 things. It's going to be the marketing. So if you had really good marketing and an aggressive agent, then it can only be one of 2 levers, time or price. And if you went through 6 months or 3 months of an agreement, that is probably price. And I can almost guarantee that it was price. Now, if you took a price reduction in the month of December, what you've done is you've teed it up for every other agent out there, because it will probably get a lot more attention come the first of the year. So if you took that price reduction and you saw some showings or saw some interest or people book things talking about coming up to the first of the year, that I would expect. Now, whether you hire the same agent or rehire them for a month or 2, that's certainly one thing that you can do. The next agent through is more likely to get a boost from the marketing from the prior agent in December. And then if it gets showings and offers, the new agent will probably look pretty good to you. And they should, because they sold the property. But if there's good marketing in place, the reduction you took in December probably is going to get it sold by whatever agent that you choose to go with. And some will keep it seamless and stay on the market with the same agent. So you'll see when the calls come in, if you're an agent calling, some people say, no, I'm going to rehire the same agent. They're probably already signing extension paperwork to make it go into the future by a month or 2. Very, very common. For those that don't, and this is really important, you're going to get a lot of phone calls. So when your listing expires, your phone's going to ring all day long on New Year's Day, because an agent's job is to go procure more business and ask questions and make those phone calls. I can tell you, I made a legitimate 818 calls on a New Year's Day many, many years ago, when that was the major source of business for me, was expired listings. Now my business has changed and evolved, and I don't do that so much anymore. And it's a great way to meet clients. It certainly helped me get off the ground in my business. And occasionally you're going to get somebody just like, why are you calling me on New Year's Day? Well, because your home went off the market and I figured you wanted to sell it. And I was wondering, are you going to be interviewing other agents for the job of getting it sold? You say, well, ask questions like that. And if I get 800, take a hike on, I'll be nice about that, but okay, whatever. What I would get is 10 or 15 people actually want to sell their property, maybe not that day. I would meet with them and I would always get a lot of listings out of it, and that would help boost my business. So I can't fault another agent for doing that because I have done that. And there's a legal and legitimate way to do it without, going against do not call registries and all those other things. There's a right way to do it, is what I want to say. But it's going to happen. So mapping out the next couple of days, if you're listed on the market, here's what's going to happen. You're going to make a choice. I'm sure the agent's going to ask you if you want to extend for a month or two, because there's people that want to book showings, but they want to do it after the first of the year. It's a legitimate concern. I do the same thing every year. There's being super transparent. I think every year I've got one or two I'd really like to keep into the next year because I do feel, hey, it's probably just about to pop. I would also tell you that if you were going to extend with that, you probably want to couple it with some sort of a price adjustment, because the price that you had obviously didn't work. If you didn't take any reductions in November, December, that price didn't work. There's an anticipation that will change. If you hire a new agent, they're most certainly going to ask you a couple of things about your marketing and what went wrong. You're going to blame the market, blame the agent, blame something, probably not yourself. Quite honestly, we never blame ourselves for things like that. But we're going to know that next agent, if they're doing their jobs, to say, okay, what else would you like to change? Would you make an adjustment on the price? You've been at this price for quite some time. You'll get the adjustment right now. Now come the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all of a sudden a dip in the inventory, it's going to come raging back and say, wow, look at all these new listings. Well, they're reimagined listings because they're going back on the market either with a new agent or the same agent, probably with a different price. And now you're going to be battling it out because now there's all these new listings and also, attention being commanded. And it could take a while to get new pictures. It could take a while to get it loaded in the MLS and syndicate through there. So if you're looking to sell right away, you got a couple of options. Have an agent teed up who's going to get all of this done for you rather quickly. Maybe extend the agent you have because it's seamless and will stay on the market and be out there. But for that first, couple of days of the month, and let's think about when this is going to hit, right? Middle of next week. So by the first weekend, there's going to be a lot less listings. So if you've already taken the adjustment, that first 5, 6, 7 days, you're going to stand out because there's less listings. Your marketing's in place. The buyers will have less to choose from. You've got a perception of scarcity going out the window right now because you're going to be not the only game in town, but you might be the only home in the neighborhood, the only condo in the building, or the only one like yours on the market. Around the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, now your competition is going to come back in. So you got this little window. And if you're playing the strategy game and you're on the market right now, you'd ask yourself, how quickly can I change another agent? Do I want to even be in that window where there's less listings? I would think yes. But if you're going to stay with the same agent, you're going to have that piece. For others, they're just going off the market and say, I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. The house didn't sell. There's something wrong right now, and I just want to be off the market. That's okay too. Where it gets really fun is when you try to play the game on what are we timing, what are we doing on the market, and if I'm just staying on the market but not changing price, that's the definition of insanity, right? We're the same thing, nothing else, no other conditions have changed, so chances are you're not going to get a different result with the same price that you had all along. If you're playing the tricky game of like, hey, I'm going to go off the market, come back out and reset the date counters because I've been on the market for 612 days or 270 days, it used to be if you waited 30 days, you could reset the counters, and it probably still could. The problem is the internet is taking away all of that trickery right now, and all the portals are going to say, hey, it's been on the market for 270 of the last 300 days, or last time on the market was here, and they timed out the 30 days to come back on, same pictures, same marketing, same price. The consumer is going to know. So all the mystery has really been taken out of it. What does it mean to you if you're selling right now and you're going to expire? Just know that if you go expired, you get a bunch of phone calls the next day, like it or not. No way to avoid that. You'll probably go back on the market, whether it's the same agent or a different agent, and a slightly different price a little ways down the road. Even if you say you're not selling, give it a week or two. It's kind of like those people that go back to the gym for like a week. You'll be off the market for I still want to sell it. You'll be right back on there. The good news is everything's negotiable, everything's optional, and everything is available to you. Someone is going to help you sell that property, and I hope that you choose the right one. I know this is an exciting time of year. It's the end of the year. People don't want to deal with this, but I want to let you know if you're on the market right now and expiring, you're going to get some calls like it or not, and that's okay. So with that in mind, if you got questions, drop them over here. Definitely hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to guide you through this process, whether you're working with us or someone else. We just want to help you get you sold. All right, this is Ron Wojciechowski for the Black Hole of Real Estate.